Hello, it's Rosie from Love Jars and Rosie's Pizzoni School, and I'm just doing a little film today of the digital pressure canner, which is new in, and several people have been asking us about various aspects of it. So I thought it'd be useful to show you how it works. I'm not going to pressure can in it or anything like that, just talk about it. And I have to say I'm absolutely delighted with it. It has its uses, I would say, for if you only want to can small amounts of food at a time, if you have a small family or you live on your own or just a couple of you. But I generally use it for things that I've bulk cooked and I want to eat some and save the rest, and I can quickly do that. Well, it's not any quicker, I have to say, but you can do it more easily with this tabletop version. If I'm going to bulk pressure can for storage, then I would still use the stovetop canner. That's the decision to make. The main thing to say about it is wired for USA voltage, so it is not safe to use just plugged into our main system. It's 110 volts as opposed to 240, so if you buy it and plug it straight into the wall, you'll either blow your household electrics or you'll melt the canner, or both. You know, it is dangerous to do that, and it will not work. It is not safe to use with a holiday adapter that you would take away with you on holiday so that you can use your electrical appliances that you've taken with you. What you need is this beast here, and that's why we supply the canner with a transformer. It needs to be 3000 watts to be safe, and it converts the 240 volts to the 110 volts. And I've been using it quite safely, quite easily. It doesn't make a noise, it doesn't overheat the transformer. I mean, you can just literally use the canner plugged in from it. When we supply the canner and the transformer together, there will be colour coding on the leads. There, the yellow is on the end of the lead that goes into the transformer, and I'll show you that in a moment. And the green goes into the canner that end, and then this end, which plugs into the mains system at home, has got a red tape on it. There will also be instructions with it, very clearly laid out what you need to do, and I suggest you take the time to read those and to go through them and make sure that you understand them, because quite a lot depends on it. So I have this plugged in but not switched on, and in the back of the transformer there is a plug here and a switch, and there's also a fuse. So the plug goes in to the socket, obviously, and that's that bit. The yellow end flex goes into the yellow marked socket on the front of the transformer, which I'll just turn around, which is there. And we've also blanked off the higher voltage socket so you don't insert it into the wrong socket by mistake. So that goes into that one. So now the canner has its flex plugged into its socket there, and so the unit is all connected up. So if I switch on the mains power, you can see pressure can is flashing. This is your instruction screen here, and because I'm not actually canning, I can't go through all the various stages so you can see, but you do have a very good booklet that comes with it, very instructive. It's got recipes as well, and instructions on how to work the canner and how to load the canner, and then there's just a crib sheet here which you can use, you know, every day or on the day when you're canning. It just runs through the steps you need to take. So initially you will put the water, as with the ordinary stovetop canner, you've got to insert here that you've put the water into, and there on the inside and the outside is a mark where the water needs to come up to, and it needs to be 3 quarts, the same as the stovetop canner, regardless of how you're filling the pot. The pot needs to be dry on the outside. Make sure it's dry before you insert it back in. So that's the water in. You can then look at the jars and how you want to pressure can. You have the various sizes here. The sizes that will fit are the 500ml. This is in Le Parfait. Of the ball mason ones that are listed on the sheet. I'll give you those in a moment. But Le Parfait, you can fit 5 of these, this footprint. So of the 500, the 350 or the 750, and 5 will fit into the pot. With the 350, you can double deck and put 10 of those in, but you need to offset them in the pot. So the 2 joins there, you would put another one there, and do a full circle. And I think you could also do a 500 and a 350. You don't have to leave the third headspace like the stovetop canner, but the 1000ml jars are too big. You can't use those. So in the ball mason, you can use 10 of the regular mouth size of half pints, which is the 500ml, 8 of the pints, no, that's the 500ml, isn't it, the pint, and 5 of the quarts. So, and that's the chart on there. So as you go through, you'll put your jars in the water, empty, and you warm the jars. You half fill them with water, you put the jars in, and it warms them up for you while you prep the food. You then fill them, and then you follow the steps on here for venting and so on. The lid is a little bit more complicated than the standard lid. You've still got the vent valve here, and you've got your regulator here, and you can turn that to whether you're going to pressure can or whether you're going to water bath, because you can also water bath in this canner. So that goes on here, there. Install, remove lines up with this mark. You put it in place and you twist it, and it's then locked. You then put this green catch down and twist in place. There we are. And that goes over the vent cover once you've got to that point. And this comes on and off. To vent, you take it off. Before you start pressure canning, you put it on, back on, and click it into place and just leave it. You don't touch it. You put the time in to start with. You don't need to worry about the pressure. The machine actually is programmed for that. And these controls here take you forward through the program to the end. And it goes through heating up, venting for 10 minutes, put the regulator on, canning, then it cools down, and then it bleeps 10 times when it's done. And then you can safely undo the top and lift the top off away from you. And they recommend you take the jars out immediately. You don't need to tighten them up. Instead, it specifically says not to tighten them. So you just leave them to cool as normal, empty the canner, wipe out the bowl and dry it off, ready for the next time. I think it's a very, very easy method, and it just depends whether it fits your particular needs or not. But if you have any other questions, We'll be pleased to answer them for you if we can. And happy canning!